Secretary Turner's comments today, and I guess over the last few days, he had mentioned that city's been super responsive since he sort of said these things. What have y'all been discussing?
Yes, we heard from the HUD secretary that we needed to edit our what's called our action plan, which is a document that HUD requires that we submit before we can receive HUD funding for disaster relief. And this is money that's on top of what FEMA's already providing for repair and recovery. It was anticipated we would receive these monies, and still is, around the summer, of about $225 million. So we have modified the action plan to reflect his concerns, and we've been told the changes that we made are acceptable.
So the changes have already been made.
As far as I know, yes. I mean, it's just a matter of editing the document. It's a very long document, and this was apparently a reference deep into the document on page 76 that they wanted to have changed.
Concerning minority and women-owned businesses?
Right. So the city, like many cities, has a program around contracting with minority and women-owned businesses, and so apparently the reference to that existing program is not something that they want to see in the action plan.
And Chuck Edwards said, and you just said, that it doesn't sound like there's any risk of the funding being pulled. That's what it sounds like to you.
Yes, we're being reassured. They're very eager, and they continue to be eager, this administration, to help support the recovery of Western North Carolina, including Asheville, and we're very appreciative of that. And in fact, continuing the conversation about how else we can receive assistance, because I think we're going to need more than what's already been allocated to Western North Carolina for recovery. And we're hopeful to see some additional programs come online that'll address things like private roads and bridges and revenue loss for cities and counties. So some other programs that we still need some help with.
And the language was obviously, they used the term DEI, but it was inclusive in nature. Do you guys feel that you can still do those things even though the language is changing a bit?
You know, that will be seen. My understanding is, I mean, not to get into the weeds, but my understanding is that the order that's at issue that the president signed is in litigation. So just like every other city in America, we're kind of waiting to hear what happens with all of the lawsuits and the changes and the requirements as to how we're able to carry out our functions. But our primary focus is on the recovery of Asheville and Western North Carolina, and so we think we can do that work to its maximum with the funds that were provided.